if we were in monogamy, nobody would say, "Oh, he's brainwashing you into marrying him or staying married to him." Nobody says that. It only comes up when you talk about the subject of polygyny. You can't want to be there. Man got to be Jim Jones in this whole thing. Y'all know who he is. Google him.
Assalamu alaikum, peace. I'm Coach Nazir.
And I'm his wife, Coach Fatimah.
And I'm Coach Nyla. I am also his wife.
We are the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as authors of the book, Let's
Talk
Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Today, we want to discuss a lot of the misconceptions, preconceived notions, projections, myths, if you will, or any other way to kind of guise some of these ideas that people believe are reasons people participate in polygyny. And polygyny, again, means a man that has multiple spouses, multiple wives, specifically. All right. Polygamy means spouses who have multiple spouses. So that can mean man or a woman who have multiple spouses. And polyandry means a woman or a wife who has multiple husbands. You need to make that clear because sometimes people think because they don't have a vocabulary that has ever included the word polygyny that we're saying it wrong. No, we're talking about what we do. I've been married to Coach Fatimah and I'm married to Coach Nyla. So that's a man with multiple wives. We practice polygyny. All right, now that that's out the way, some of the fantastical things that have been said, different ideas of why polygyny and who the people must be or how they may be thinking, all that type of stuff. One of the major ones is polygamy and polygyny, specifically something that only benefits the man. He's operating on his lowly, and it's called lowly for whatever reason, base, lustful desires, and it's only there to please him sexually. Really, that's the first one. Like, that's really the thing that people are, you really think that? Like, we live in a society where it's much easier to go ahead and fulfill your lustful, lowly sexual desires by any means. I mean, you could just swipe left or right? You know what I'm saying? You can swipe on that. There's apps for that. You know what I'm saying? There's the whole joke about $40, if you will, right? So there's a whole bunch of different things. It's the whole thing about it online.
I'm about to look that up.
Yeah, no, it ain't necessary.
Okay, I ain't gonna look that up.
So
Don't do it.
it's much easier to go ahead and participate in immoral relationships that are not headed towards marriage or family and so on and so forth, than to do so. So just for the simple fact of honor and talking about marriage, which is the more challenging route in a society where access to sex is easy, you know what I'm saying? It's foolish to begin with. All right, so that is right there. But now polygyny is specific. If marriage is a responsibility, then wouldn't that mean that polygyny is actually double that or even more?
Yeah. We'd like to interrupt this video to let you guys know to make sure you are registered for the Women's Polygyny Masterclass. Yeah. Yes, it's our 4-part Polygyny Masterclass with your coaches, Coach Nyla
and Coach Fatimah.
And we are going to talk about different things in preparing and thriving and growing in polygyny.
Yeah, and your co-wife connection. Everybody asks us, so we're going to go there. We're going to talk about all those things. We really hope you guys join us.
So make sure you click the link in the description and don't forget to register. We'll see you soon. Now let you get back to the video.
And to simply do that for sex, like, okay, it's 24 hours a day. All right, and sex is great. That's how we're all here. It's been going on. That's how generations have been getting here, right? So with that being said, though, how many hours a day are you participating in? How many hours a day realistically are you participating in that?
Let me take more responsibility so I can have more sex.
So much so that, you know what, let me go ahead and get married again because that's the only way for me to fulfill that. No, it's not. Of course, other ways are immoral, but it's easier, isn't it? And most people tend to go the path of least resistance. And many people that I know, most people I know getting married, especially in the West, by the time you get married, you might wear a white dress, but you're not a virgin. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's that one where it just serves the man for his lowly sexual desires. It's a really foolish thing because that can be done and is done in monogamous marriage with, I'm sure, people that you know, probably you're related to, not only including celebrities and pastors and reverends and imams and all that kind of stuff, participating in illicit sexual relationships. It's much easier to do it in a negative fashion. It's much more accepted, sadly, than to actually marry and practice polygyny and do it in an honorable fashion. So that's just one. What's another one?
I know one of the things that I hear too, that the kids are gonna be just destroyed and just, they're the poor children, they're destroyed because he's taking from one house or not one house, they don't say one house. He's destroying one family to build another family and, these type of things like that, and not realizing that it's all one big family because they're his family, it's his family and you're all together in that. So, and we're living it, and you've seen, those who are not totally new and those are new who binge watch, y'all seen our children. And I don't think they're, destroyed and hurt and devastated and broken or anything like that. So, that's an interesting one. That I hear a lot too, because it's like, oh, monogamy is just the best thing ever since sliced bread. No one ever gets hurt in monogamy. Polygyny is all about, hurt feelings and broken families and everything like that. So those are kind of like, that's the main thing I hear a lot too about that. Polygyny is the evil twin of monogamy, that it's the bad one. Everything that happens in polygyny is bad and hurtful and painful, and monogamy is just the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like I said, of course, it's not, too, like I said, we're not anti-monogamy, but we're realistic too. You know what I'm saying? So.
And then the other one that one is the brainwashing comments are hilarious because it's kind of like it's. If we were in monogamy, nobody would say, oh, he's brainwashing you into marrying him or staying married to him. Nobody says that. It only comes up when you talk about the subject of polygyny. You can't want to be there. Man got to be Jim Jones in this whole thing. If y'all know who he is, Google him. He's a cult leader that brainwashed a lot of people into killing themselves.
Not the rapper.
Not the rapper. Sorry, girl. Sorry. But, not Jim Jones, the rapper. So yeah, that brainwashing comment, because everybody's an adult, you can say, look, this has not worked for me because I've exhausted every effort. It's not working for me in our monogamous relationship. Not you're married, you're in polygyny. It ain't gonna work for me. And just make this knee-jerk judgment or reaction and say, that's just saying I ain't trying. I ain't gonna try. I'm just not doing it. We're all grown. We all know, as Muslims or practicing Muslims, this is allowed in Islam. No matter how many Muslims want to get in the comments and say it's not. Yes, it is. And they know that. So that brainwashing part, like we haven't thought about all these things and worked together, decided that, okay, this is our family. Our children are siblings. I don't care what you do. And so to sit here and go, well, yeah, we're just going to stay here because this is where he wants us to be. And we're just going to do what he wants us to do.
Whatever he likes.
Whatever that means. He going to pick out the outfits. He going to tell us what to say. He going to put the script up. He's going to be the director, producer, the liar to everything, the cheater to all that. So the brainwashing part, like we're not sitting here grown and decided to be in our marriages and we're monogamously married to the same man. We'll say it again. We're monogamously married to the same man and we decided that that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's voluntary.
We're not married to each other.
Relationships are voluntary. They're not forced into anything.
Right.
And the other thing is that co-wives have to be sworn enemies. Oh, you cannot be cool with one another. You cannot be friends. That doesn't make any sense. To be friends with someone who, is married to the person you're married to. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Or the whole, well, she must be old and washed up. Like,
oh, yes, that.
This 2022.
It's just too
So she old and washed up. So then you saw, and then
like
what?
Really?
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Shiny and brand new. Man, get far. Yeah. So these things are sad because they're a projection of what you think and what you put forward to give yourself an answer to a question. Yeah. All right, versus either accepting it from what the people say it is, or just deciding something's not for you, it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? But to project that and put it all in the comments, it is what it is. It's the internet. You know what I'm saying? People get real keyboard gangsterish. You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't say it to you.
No,
they beat you. They don't say it to you.
It can be none of that. But it's hilarious, but sad all at the same time. So we want to bring it up because these are just some of the things people put out there. You're living off the women. They're taking care of you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been fed grapes, skinned grapes on top of that, or fanned with a big old feather on the throne, none of this type of stuff. But again, it's a thing about responsibility, accountability, and growing family. This is the only form of poly that's really family-based, period. So, yeah, I want to share that. Anything else you want to kind of wrap over? Let them know.
Well, that's another thing. The old shiny and new and all the, and also you got to get one that's poor and destitute and needy and everything like that.
Yeah, got a dead leg and all this stuff.
That's what it's about, and that's what you need to get, and that is when it's okay.
Which reminds me of something too. This is, to the Muslims. One is that this whole myth that a man needs his wife permission to marry again. No, you don't. That's made up. Where you got that from, you can take that right back to the trash. Now, of course, it's best practice. Now, best doesn't mean that it's required, but it's best practice to have the discussion beforehand and make the decision, work together, open, honest communication. All of that is important, but you do not need permission. No. All right, Allah Ta'ala has not given the authority over man practicing polygyny to his wife.
Yeah.
All right, didn't even address the women in the ayat in which it was revealed. So that's important. You need to go check the facts on that. Go ask the ulama of old, the classical scholars, all the books. It's relatively simple, to the point. And going to what Coach Nyla said about, you're destitute and so on, the Prophet ﷺ was married to Khadija radiallahu anha for the entirety of that marriage to her, in which she supported him and took on the message and so on. But after that, and he practiced polygyny. Now, of course, we know only one of his wives was a virgin. That was Aisha radiallahu anha. But people think wrongly that, all his other wives, they were, either widowed or old, or somebody had even said ugly. I would be like, yeah, somebody said that. It's like, you really need to study this deen. But let me let you know something. There were women who offered themselves to the Prophet ﷺ, and the first thing he did was look at them. Looked at them. Just that it was a hadith, and not going to the whole thing. Maybe we'll just put it in the description. But he looked her up and down. He was not interested, and somebody else had proposed to her because it was an awkward situation. Now, that has nothing to do with what I was going to say, which is one of his wives was raised as a young princess, sat on gold thrones, very wealthy. Actually, her entire tribe was. Her husband just had died in a battle against the Prophet ﷺ. She was a young widow. She was 20 years old. And according to his wives, his wives, anha, she was extremely beautiful. This is one of our mothers, part of the Ummahatul Mu'mineen, right? So her name was Juwariya, radiallahu anha. 20 years old, came from wealth, and Aisha, radiallahu anha, said she had benefited her tribe and her people more than anyone else because the marriage to the Prophet ﷺ freed her people. But she also said when she saw her, that the Prophet ﷺ would be interested and want to marry her. So much so that he even proposed to her over her negotiating, trying to let go of the tribe, that he marry her in front of his wife, Aisha, radiallahu anha. Okay, where today, I'm sure that'd be explosive if a brother proposes to someone else. But this is the best person who lived on the planet. So before we jump and try to say what Islam says, we probably should first learn what Islam says. And again, that's for Muslims because sometimes we need to just understand, polygyny is an ancient solution to a modern day problem that Islam allows. You may participate, you may not participate. All right, but just because you may not like something or feel a certain way about something doesn't mean you need to vocalize it and bring any type of wrong upon your own self because of your tongue, or in this case, online with your fingertips and typing.
Punishment upon yourself.
Be careful. Be careful. So spreading those type of things matter. But we wanted to share that because some of it was funny, some of it wasn't. But all in all, make sure when you're looking at polygyny, you're looking at the full picture and getting an understanding, especially from those who have participated in it and who are mature and made it work. Why go to somebody who's been married and divorced 17 times? You're trying to get marriage information. Maybe divorce information, you can see kind of what they've done wrong, but it's probably not going to help out the health of a quality marriage.
And had he asked me, which he would have never done, I would have said, why are you asking me? Because that's not my right to give him to get married again. I'd be like, what you asking me for? Because I know Islam. He don't have to ask me. So I wouldn't embrace that anyway. Had he not known better and I knew, I'd say, well, why are you asking me? You don't have to ask me. That's what should be the response. Not the, oh, he must come and bow down to me and ask me. Because that's some ego stuff.
Part of the whole feminist, culture and the woman-centric thing that's kind of going on now. I mean, if you have a man that you are trying to lead and that man is not the leader of the family, that already says a lot in and of itself. So, Islam does not give that authorization for a woman. A man is put in place to lead the family, be the protector and maintainer of the family, and to move forward. Even if he doesn't like something, Allah Ta'ala put it there for us. Yeah. All right? So, as we are headed on our life's journeys, we need to make sure we're on the proper side. We hear and we obey. We appreciate you sticking with us, seeing the entire video, supporting us. Make sure you share, definitely subscribe, get the notification. As we know, most people that watch the videos are not subscribed, but in the comment area, show us some love. Let us know you watched the entire video by putting understand polygyny below. And we're going to end with some GLC.
Make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Here are 3 ways outstanding personal relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships.
And make sure you sign up for our email list, and you can actually email us at support@Outstanding Personal Relationships, where you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored, as well as exclusive access to our lives and bonuses.
Absolutely. If you're looking for more polygyny education, make sure you visit polygamy masterclass.com. Now, if you're looking for coaching or counseling with either Coach Fatimah or Coach Nyla, you can find them at.
Make sure you visit me at CoachFatimah.com.
And myself at CoachNyla.com.
That's how we can help you. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.